Sophia Hoover here with 802 Live. Today is Monday, October 12th, and here are today's announcements. Today, volleyball has an away game at Northland Prep. On Wednesday, volleyball also has an away game at Rancho Solano. And on Friday, football has a home game versus Scottsdale Christian. And those are this week's happenings.
Hey everyone, we are back with the Getting to Know You segment, and this time we're here with Mr. Frank. So Mr. Frank, tell us about yourself.
So I'm a first-year teacher. Came here, I actually coached junior high soccer for the previous 2 years. So first-year teacher, yeah.
I hope that your first year is going great so far, even though it's online. So what do you teach and what do your students learn in those classes?
So I teach 3 different electives. I teach U.S. military history. So we're teaching about the creation of the military from start to finish. So they learn everything, battle tactics, the weapons we used, how those technologies advance. So I teach junior high current events, so anything that's going on right now. And then finally, the last 2 classes of the day, I teach emergency medicine. It's where I have the most experience, where my career was before I started teaching. And they're quite literally learning how to save a life one step at a time. So
it sounds like you're teaching some pretty interesting electives. Do you have any cool hobbies?
Anything that takes me outdoors. I don't like being stuck inside, so going to the lake, hiking, camping, fishing, any of those. So anything that involves being outside.
So you're an outdoor kind of guy.
Absolutely.
So I saw these, and I wanted to know what these mannequins are.
So these are our CPR dummies, and actually most of my students haven't seen these yet either, so you guys are getting a sneak peek. But these are where anybody who's taking emergency medicine will learn how to do effective CPR on not only an adult mannequin, but an infant mannequin as well.
Can you show us?
I can teach you.
Can you teach me? Okay.
I will definitely
Sounds
teach
great.
You. So what you're going to do, right? So if this person needs you to save their life, okay?
Okay.
You're going to cross your hands, just like that, okay? You're going to start right about the center of their chest, right there, okay?
Okay.
Keep your elbows straight and push down. And as you're doing that, you're going to count to 30. So as you're doing that, what you're doing is you're beating the heart for the patient. Hey, look, he's alive. He's shaking his head.
Oh, yes.
And then the infant is pretty much the same concept. The only difference is you actually get to hug this guy. So you're going to put your hands around the body. Just don't shake them. And then using your thumbs right at the bottom of the ribs, you're just going to push in with your thumbs. And it's the same count. You're going to count up to 30.
Thank you so much for teaching me how to save a life maybe one day. And thank you for joining us. And that's all we have for you. So back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Zoe. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the first day of school. Obviously, there's so many new rules this year, so here we have Dr. Williamson, our principal, to talk about it.
Here, morning.
All right, Dr. Williamson, let's jump right in. So what are some rules that should be highly enforced?
Masks. You need to be wearing them. Whenever you're inside, have your mask on. Doesn't matter if you're within 6 feet of someone else or not. When you're outside, if you're not within 6 feet of someone, you can take your mask off. Obviously, we're not making people wear their masks while they eat. So at lunch, only 4 people to a table and 1 on each of the chairs. You can have your mask off, as I said, while you eat. But when you're done eating, put the mask back on. Your teachers will be having you disinfect your desks when you come into the classroom. And there's hand sanitizer in the classroom. Keep your hands away from your eyes and your mouth, that kind of thing. When you do wash your hands in one of those sinks, make sure that you're doing what they tell us, 20 seconds, all that kind of fun stuff.
All right. So what are some consequences for breaking these rules?
So we're not going to play around with the mask thing. If you can't keep your mask on over your nose and your mouth, we're not giving you a whole bunch of warnings. You're just going to go to online learning because we just don't have time to be playing around with that. People's health is too important. And yeah, we're not going to play. So you just go home.
All right, so you guys heard, please be responsible with these masks and all these things. So what are some things that have changed due to these new implications?
Well, obviously, classes are a whole lot smaller. I mean, there will be between 3 and 15 kids in each of the classrooms. Teachers are a little stressed because they're going to be doing half the students online and half the students in the classroom, so I would ask that students be patient with their teachers as they're going through that, just as the teachers will be patient with students, you know, figuring out kind of the new way things feel right now.
All right, thank you so much for joining us today, Dr. Williamson. You guys, please make sure you're staying safe, using your mask, wearing putting on that hand sanitizer. Be nice to your teachers. It's all of our first day of school, and it can be stressful. And that's all we have for you today, so make sure you're checking the slides, our social media, and your Google Classroom. Why? Because we're always on air, online, and on you.